Tonight on the Scoops VFLW Game Changer Show, we will be revealing one of many awards. Tonight is the first of two nights where we'll be going through the Scoops VFLW Medal Award winners for season 2025. And headlining tonight's show, one of the biggest awards you can win outside of the Scoops medal is being a part of the Scoops VFLW All-Australian team. Tonight, we congratulate some teams who will be making finals and some teams that have missed out. It's going to be a very, very big night, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. Featuring my debut, my inaugural Scoops VFLW All-Australian team. Now, here is your host, the sole admin of Scoops. It is Scoop. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scoops VFLW Game Changer Show. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops, and wow. Tonight's a big night, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be revealing my inaugural debut VFLW All-Australian team, and it's a vote count tomorrow night that you don't want to miss out on. Tonight on this show, we'll be recapping the rounds as per usual. We'll be mentioning the teams that will be playing finals and the matchups for that. Scoops goes bang. Last round's team of the week, which was the weekend just gone. But tonight is all about the debut of the Scoops VFLW All-Australian team, who will clearly be making history, being the first ever people to make the Scoops VFLW All-Australian team. Now, there may be some names that you remember and thought, yep, they deserve to be in. Gee, they're unlucky not to be in. It's always hard each and every year. But it's a vote count you do not want to miss tomorrow night. This is the All-Australian team tonight. Tomorrow night, we've got the Rising Star. We've got my most valuable player, my MVP, most improved player, the Scoops Respects Player of the Year, and, of course, the big award, the award that all people want to win, the Scoops Medal for the VFLW season, the inaugural Scoops VFLW medal winner. Last year and the previous few years, we've had AFLW medal winners, Scoops AFLW medal winners, we've had Scoops AFL medal winners. But this year, we will crown the first ever Scoops VFLW medal winner or winners. You'll have to wait and find out tomorrow night. But tonight is all about acknowledging the players who made the Scoops VFLW All-Australian team. But that'll be throughout the show, and we'll get to that when we get to that. But we want to start off with this. If there's any show of mine of the VFLW you want to watch, not only is it tonight's episode, but it's tomorrow's. Every Scoops medal, whether it's AFL, AFLW, or now VFLW, it's a video, it's a night you don't want to miss. You want to be a part of it. You've got to get around it. I can't stress enough how damn good this award night will be. I put a lot of effort into every video I do, but especially my Scoops medal videos, whether that's AFLW, VFLW now, or AFL. Their vote counts are always so thrilling. Sometimes controversial votes are given to some people and some that don't get it. Same with All-Australians and Team of the Weeks. But that's what makes it exciting. I put so much damn effort into it. I want to tell you right now, for all the graphics that you'll be seeing tomorrow night and some in tonight's episode, I was going to 6 a.m. doing these graphics. So don't tell me I don't put in the effort into this channel. I've been doing highlight packages, everything you name it, for tomorrow night's episode in particular. So strap yourselves in as one you do not want to miss, and one I can't wait to show you all. It is 3+ months in the making. This season is come and gone for the home and away season. So that means it's Scoops medal time. And who will be crowned the inaugural Scoops VFLW medal winner? An episode and a vote count you don't want to miss. And for VFLW players watching, it's an episode you absolutely do not want to miss to see yourself make the team of the week. Sorry, not the team of the week. The All-Australian team. Will you be the inaugural Scoops medal winner? Will you be a part of some of the other awards, the Rising Star, the Most Improved, the Most Valuable, and the Scoops Respects Player of the Year? What all those awards entail? Who will it be? How will the vote count go? You'll find that all in tomorrow night's show. The Scoops VFLW medal tomorrow night. Don't miss it. But tonight, we will be crowning the Scoops VFLW All-Australian team for the first ever time. And all people that are in the team absolutely deserved it. But let's get back to the footy from the results and everything like that. So I want to start off with this. If you know any VFLW players who you want to see on the channel in a Goal King Challenge and or interview, please do send me a message or try and get something sorted. All right. Oh, it's time. We're back, baby. It's time for the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang Boom. Well, I was kind of struggling to think of things to talk about. And then the fixture came out only an hour or so ago from this recording, from when I saw it. And oh boy, am I pissed. And I'm not the only one pissed. So let me get this straight, okay? So the whole year, I've been questioning why, and not just me, a lot of people. I've spoken to players. I've spoken to parents of players. I've spoken to lovers of the game. I've spoken about people in the game. They don't like games clashing. I don't know how many times I've asked this question to people or they brought it up to me and no one likes it. Like, seriously, why are games clashing? So we got, okay, we're in the final series now. They're surely not going to clash. You're going to play on a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday twilight. ETU Stadium can play night games and twilight games. Whitten Oval, Icon Park. Now, the fixtures come out that the first two rounds, so that's the semi-final rounds and the qualifying/elimination final rounds, all going to be played at the team's home venue. Great. That's fine. For the prelims, it'll be played at ETU Stadium, and the grand final will be at ETU Stadium. But what really pisses me off is this week, they've got the ability to play on a Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday twilight, and that's not happening. We have 3 games. The qualifying finals and the elimination finals. All clashing. The first one, the elimination final, Sandy and Williamstown at Sandy, is Saturday, 11:05 a.m. Not good enough. The second elimination final, between Box Hill and Essendon, at Box Hill City Oval, is at 11:35. So you got 2 elimination finals, 2 of the 3 games in the round overlapping each other at 11:05 and 11:35. On what planet does that make sense? What the hell? And then the qualifying final between North Melbourne and Collingwood at Arden Street is on Saturday at 2:35. That's basically going to start when the middle game finishes. How do you expect people to go to these games? You want the competition to grow like it actually does deserve to grow. But you're giving people 0 opportunity to go to more than one game. In fact, in some cases, you're giving people 0 opportunity to go to 0 games a week because you want to clash them and put them at venues or put them at early times, put them too late, or everything like that. Spread them out. You've got 3 days, you've got 3 games, or I don't know, spread them out. And don't overlap them. You've got 3 games, not 6. You've got no excuses when there's 6 games, and now you've absolutely got 0 excuses when there's 3 games, and you overlap 2 of them, and the other one starts when the other one's just finishing. So people can't go from ground to ground. You want more spectators? How about you actually make it publicly visible for everyone to actually make every game? Like Icon Park, Whitten Oval, Arden Street. You could have used those venues. ETU Stadium. Box Hill City Oval is about an hour away from Trevor Barker. Can't go to that. Arden Street is probably 50 minutes away from Box Hill City Oval. You won't make it in time. You'll get the back end of the game if you're lucky. And same for the roles of reverse. You're not going to get to Sandy and then go to Box Hill. Another hour. Like, just stupid. Stupid scheduling. Newsflash to the people making the fixture here in the VFLW competition. People want to go to more games as they can get to. Players can't go watch their own mates because they're playing at the same time. Or spectators and fans and loyal servants of this competition like myself, we love going to these games and we can't. I've got mates. I've got players telling me. I've got parents of players telling me. It's frustrating. They can't go watch other games because the competition want to praise themselves and say that they fixtured it so well. I saw the quote from the competition before the State League head of footy or something. I can't remember the title. But they said that they're happy with how it looks. How can you be happy with it clashing? You've got from 11 a.m., that should be the earliest the game ever starts, by the way. It should not be before 11 o'clock. That's just ridiculous. You got from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Even 7 p.m. like you did on the weekend. By the way, those two games clashed 7:05, Whitten Oval, Icon Park. Just ridiculous scheduling yet again. And it has been ridiculous scheduling throughout the whole season. And I'm not only saying this myself. I've had a lot of players say this. I've had a lot of parents say this. I've had a lot of mates say this. It's ridiculous. It clashes with so many other things. It's just ridiculous. I'm pissed off with this because you can either go to one game this round or none. You've got 3 games, you've got 3 days, and you decide to put them all within 3 hours of each other combined. The first game's 11:05 and the other game's 2:05. That'll finish at 4:05. So you've got about a 4 to 5 hour gap where they're all going to be played within that time period, and you can't get to 2 games. You might be lucky to go to Sandy down to Arden Street, but even then, it's a bit of a stretch because of the 1 hour gap. It's just ridiculous. The scheduling is poor. And the competition should not be happy with themselves thinking that it's good. Now, Icon Park, fantastic ground. Love going there. But the last 2 weeks, it's been poorly run. So, this has never happened, and I've been there probably 15 to 30 times in the last 2 years. And not once until the last 2 weeks have they ever blocked off any part of the ground. So, last week when there was an AFLW practice match between Carlton and Richmond, they blocked off the goal square where the rooms are for Carlton. You could not go to the away team's entrance. Now I thought, okay, it's a practice match. That's maybe why they've done it, but still ridiculous. And I was kind of getting used to that, but not happy with that. Then on the weekend, they topped themselves by doing something more stupid. Don't know how you could top that, but they did. They blocked off 95% of the ground. 95% of the ground. Not only did they block off what was blocked off last week, they blocked off the entire grandstand at Icon Park Friday night between Carlton and Box Hill. They blocked off the goal square on the other side. So you were left with the wing where the toilets are and the food vans that weren't open, by the way. Only that area. And a lot of people were saying, oh, how can I go to the away team's race? Interchange bench area. You can't. It's blocked off. Like I like to vlog each game from the goal square, basically, or from the pocket. Couldn't do it for one side, and the other side was impacted. So it's just like, you're just setting up things to fail. People are pissed off. Make it all open. I talk about the shot clock all year, the fixturing, the time scheduling. Now this. We love going. How about you make it publicly accessible for people to walk around the whole ground? Not that hard. You've done it forever, so why now change it? It's just stupid. They need to lift their game. It's really, really, really annoying. Absolutely disgraceful. Hopefully those people that make those decisions lift their game. It's pretty pathetic, if you ask me. Really pathetic. I hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Very explosive for a reason. The most I've been annoyed with all year, with that stuff, the scheduling and everything like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, now, it is now time to go through my Scoops Round 14 VFLW Team of the Week. From the backline, the pockets, Maggie Gorham and Stella Reid. Fullback, Emily Prosser-Shaw. Half back line, the flankers, Meg Robertson and Emma Junja. Centre half back, Matilda Van Berkel. Wingers, Maddie DeCosmo and Charlotte Ryan. Centre woman, Mia Caffrey. Forward line, the flankers, Stacia Stevenson and Alyssa Misford. Centre half forward, Nike DeJock. Forward pockets, Jessie Williams and Courtney Jones. Full forward, Millie Peck. Ruck, Hayley Peck. Rovers, Tess Cattle and Abby Vaffel. Interchange, Abby McDonald, Amy Trinidad, Olivia Morris, Molly Maloney, and Eloise Ashley Cooper. The long list of emergencies, Rosie Dillon, Mecca Morrissey, Renee Karras, Grace Hodder, Alana Barber, Al Chaston, Ruby Murdoch, Tia Davidge, Olivia Manfrey, Brooke Barwick, Emily Eves, and Ava Seaton. Now, that is a long list of emergencies. I understand that. But it was so hard to choose. So why not have everyone on the screen, shall we? Now, I've got to make sure I put up the right graphic here because I would not want to stuff this up. So just bear with me here. Make sure I put up the right graphic here. Okay, great. I put up the right graphic. Gee, that would have been a shit show. So, you know, reasons for these selections. Well, Maggie Gorham had 25 disposals, was a key part as to why the Bulldogs were in the contest against the Bombers, but they choked again, the Bulldogs, having a 4-goal lead and blew it. Emily Prosser-Shaw was at the Box Hill Carlton game. Every single Box Hill and Carlton player here absolutely warranted a spot. They even couldn't put in a few others like Ruby Murdoch and Rosie Dillon, who were terrific. But, you know, Emily Prosser-Shaw, a young player who missed out on the draft last year, 19 this year, from New South Wales. She's been a very good player for them since coming into the side in the back line. Her confidence is continuing to build each and every week. Had about 16 disposals, probably about 7 marks. She got through a few players, did the sidestep, got around one a few times, and she's clearly blossoming in that role with Matilda Van Berkel there. And speaking of Matilda Van Berkel, superstar intercept defender, the best defender all year easily. Don't at me on that. That is a fact of life. Yeah. A goal, 21 disposals, 15 intercept possessions. Yes, 15. Superstar Matilda Van Berkel. Stella Reid. Speaking of Stella, she was stellar on the weekend against the Sandy side. Had about 18 disposals, about 10 intercepts. She's a star, Stella Reid. Meg Robinson had probably the best individual game of the VFLW competition all year. 39 disposals, 10 intercept possessions. She was everywhere, Meg. She took some kickouts, yes, but she was very important. It shows why she's on an AFLW list. It makes it more bizarre why Carlton weren't playing her in the practice match on the weekend against GWS, which is just confusing. And it should be round 1, AFLW, Meg Robinson. And Emma Junja from Box Hill, obviously from Sydney as well. She played really well on the weekend, had about 15 touches, but she's very clean, push up the ground, in the back line, deep in the forward line as well. Had a shot on goal from the pocket as well, did Emma. She played really well for Box Hill and having a few good weeks, she is. Maddie DeCosmo, speaking of having a good season, 32 disposals, like 13 clearances, just killing it. Mia Caffrey, 13 clearances, 20 disposals. She was very, very good for Port Melbourne in their big win over Casey. Charlotte Ryan, 22 disposals and about 10 tackles against Sandy for North Melbourne. She was very good. Having a great year, Charlotte Ryan. Stacia Stevenson played mainly up forward for Box Hill, pushed in the midfield in at times. 20 disposals, 10 tackles was very, very influential. Alyssa Misford for Darabin, kicked 2 goals, 1, about 18 disposals. She was their best player easily. Jessie Williams was really good for Port Melbourne, 1 goal, 4 and about 19 touches up forward. Millie Peck kicked 4 and 14 disposals. And Courtney Jones, 3 goals, 1 and 19 disposals. Very good. Hayley Peck, another stellar performance from Hayley Peck. 29 disposals, 34 hitouts in the ruck, if you don't mind. Having a great, great year is Hayley Peck. Tess Cattle, 22 disposals. Had the lowest disposals of all the midfielders, basically, I've got on the field and even on the bench. But, you know, she was so good. If you were at that game, you would see how clean she was. She was probably the cleanest of all the midfielders for Box Hill. A lot of them were fantastic, but just hers in particular, to me, on the weekend, just stood out. And I'm like, to myself, during the game, I'm like, nah, she's getting in the team of the week. She was probably the best player for Box Hill, at least in the midfield. So, you know, absolutely warranted a spot there. Abby Vaffel kicked a goal in 33. She's having a great, great back half of the season in particular. was very, very good in like 10 tackles or something. Amy McDonald had 28 disposals in the midfield, played really well for Essendon in their comeback win over the Bulldogs. Amy Trinidad, who's on the screen as well on the right, Tesscat on the left. She was very good with 22 disposals in the midfield and was their best mid. Olivia Morris for Casey had about 18 disposals and 15 tackles. That was just fantastic from Olivia Morris. Molly Maloney in the ruck for Port Melbourne, kicked a goal, 15 disposals, like 40 hit-outs. That's why she's in the team of the week. And Eloise Ashley Cooper had 22 disposals, about 8 tackles through the midfield. Rosie Dillon had 27 disposals, was stiff. Mecca Morris, who kicked a goal on 24, was stiff. Renee Karras was going to make the team of the week, and then Molly and Hayley said, hold my beer. And, she had 19 disposals, Renee Karras, and had about 20-something hit-outs, so she was really good. Grace Hodder had 22 disposals in the midfield and about 8 tackles. Alana Barber was stiff, about 28 disposals and about 8 clearances. Al Chaston, the same, 26 and 8. Ruby Murdoch had about 15 disposals off the half-back line. Her run and presence in the late half of the game was really good. Tia Davidge kicked 2 goals and the match winner. Brooke Barwick for the Bulldogs was good for 18 in the back line. Emily Eves had 21 disposals and 8 clearances, was good, but the other midfielders were better. Olivia Manfrey, 2 goals and 8 touches and about 3-4 tackles. She was really good as well. And Ava Seaton was also really good in the midfield. Similar numbers to Mia Caffrey, but Mia was ahead and therefore Ava missed out. But that's my team of the week for this week. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Now, your Australian team will be coming soon. Just remember that. We're not quite there yet. So let's review the round 14 games, shall we? So it was an interesting round of VFLW footy. Just making sure I don't click the wrong graphic here. I don't want to put the results up for any of the awards. So round 14 games, they were very interesting, weren't they? Carlton 7, Box Hill 36. 117 to 412-36. Now, don't get me wrong, Box Hill were clearly the better side, but Carlton, there was one side of the ground where 99% of the scores were from. Carlton had the dominance in the first quarter, and they got their goal in the first quarter. They got the ball a lot in their 50, but the key difference was when they went in, it was hanging around the 50-metre arc, and that kick inside the 50, they couldn't capitalise on. So they're getting all the opportunities and looking the better side. But Box Hill were defending well. The difference was in the second quarter, Box Hill had all the dominance. They were getting a lot of behinds. So it was like 1 goal 6 in the second quarter for Box Hill. But the difference was they were getting it clean inside 50. They were creating opportunities deep in the forward 50 where Carlton weren't. So I think that was a key difference. And then Box Hill did that and more in the third and fourth quarter with and against the scoring end as well. There's no breeze, but on the scoring end, they just took full control. They got it in there deep. The inside 50 count was through the roof, and that's why they got the job done. It was through the likes of Stevenson and Baldwin, who was really good as well, who I should have mentioned there in the emergency list. She had about 16 disposals. She's probably one of their better midfielders in the first 2 quarters, but Tess Cattle took over from there. Along with other midfielders, Rosie Dillon was good, but overall, it was really dominant. Van Berkel, Prosser Shaw, Emma Junja were very good in the back line. Ruby Murdoch as well. So, they did really well. Paige Price in the ruck was simply phenomenal. I mean, again, I wanted to put Paige Price in the team of the week. She was very good. Very, very good. But I couldn't put her in. If I was to put 3 rucks in, she would have made it. She kicked a goal. She had 19 disposals. She just was everywhere. But then Hayley Peck decided to have 29 disposals yesterday and about 40 hit-outs. So most other weeks, Paige would have made it. And Molly did something very similar to Paige as well. So, yeah. Actually, probably should have definitely had Paige on that emergency list. In fact, on the ground over Molly. But it is what it is. Paige has been in every week. So, nice to share it around. But, she was very good, Paige Price. In fact, I really should put her in there. But yeah, it's very hard team of the week to do. But yeah, it is what it is. Just looking at this team here. you know what? We'll be back in just a second. So here is the new graphic, ladies and gentlemen. Paige Price has been added to the team of the week, and Eloise Ashley Cooper has been put to the emergency list. Very stiff, but I have to put Paige in. She was just as phenomenal as Molly was, who was fantastic. So, Paige Price, a welcome addition to the team of the week. So let's go review the round 14 game, shall we? Let's do that right now. So, the results went Box Hill's way. They took full control and they were just dominant everywhere on the field. Where Carlton had Amy Trinidad do really well. Meg Robinson was phenomenal down the back line. But that was kind of it. And that's where the game was lost for Carlton and won for Box Hill. So the next game to go through was a high-scoring affair at Winton Oval, 34-36 in favour of the Bombers. The Bulldogs choked a 4-goal lead. Yes, they were against the Breeze at the end. Unacceptable. Their season's over. Their track record against sides with AFLW players is pretty hilarious. It's like 1-7. So it just shows you that you don't win games with AFLW players all the time. You don't cheat your way in for victory, and you didn't even make finals. So it's a reality check for the Bulldogs, and a lot of changes need to be made, which I've been saying for a very long time. Sarah Sinetti was all right for the Bulldogs, along with Brooke Barwick as well, and Maggie Gorham, of course. Two of those being AFLW players. Essendon, Tia Davidge and Olivia Manfrey kicked 2 goals each, were really good. Al Chasson and Abby McDonald in the midfield were fantastic. Madison Ford in the back line played a part as well. Now, one of the best games of the season, I'm calling this one. Williamstown 9-2-56, a side that doesn't normally score heavily. They did this week, but they lost. It's 11-3-69. The Pies by 13 points. In what was Belle Clark's 50th game, Tale Sanger was really good, kick to goal in 17. Millie Peck 4, Courtney Jones kicked 3 with 19, and Millie Peck 4 with 14. Don Carbone was really good. A lot of players have done really well for the Pies, and they got the job done, and that's what matters. Molly Eastman played a part as well. Oh, and I must not forget, 2 players have joined AFLW lists in the last few days. In fact, 3. Congratulations to Charlotte Brewer, who went to Carlton AFLW, as I mentioned previously. And the most recent 2, congratulations to Taylor Gregory from Southport in the QAFLW Football League in Queensland. He's 28 years of age. 28 years of age, has gone to the Gold Coast Suns. She was a trainer on there. They had a list spot open through one of their players being injured in Heidi Talbot. Wish her all the best with a shoulder injury. And Taylor comes in. She played in the scratch match on the weekend against Geelong. Played in the midfield, apparently. So well on to Taylor. Well deserved. And congratulations to Ariana Clark from Sandy VFLW, who's joined my Saints. A tall forward that can play as a backup ruck. I don't know why they called her as a midfielder when she's played every game in the 4-line bar, like one game for Sandy. Interesting. She played in the scratch match on the weekend. Not sure how she went because there's no updates about it. So, but well done to Ariana Clark. Well deserved. Still, though, I'm going to be saying the same names forever until they get picked up. Stacia Stevenson, Isla Baldwin, Amy Trinidad, Talia Sanger, Matilda Van Berkel, Paige Price, Sophie Locke, and more. And now I'm going to add Amelie Prosser-Shaw to that list. They all need to be drafted. And Prosser-Shaw's had a good season. It's not just on the weekend because of that. She's had a really good year and she's consistently proven herself. So that's another name to add to the list of names that should be on AFLW lists. And Nike DeJock, of course, as well from North Melbourne, who I've got that sneaky suspicion will be on an AFLW list shortly. There's a few list spots still open, so watch your space. That's what I feel like anyway, but we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that was the result on the weekend. Williamstown did really well. Emily Eves had 21 disposals and 8 clearances. A few of their younger players kicked a few goals, which was good to see. So Kiara Leah kicked 2, I believe, as well. So, they did their job, but they didn't get the job done. But they're playing finals, so that's good for them. Port Melbourne, 8-13-61, smashed Casey. I was going to say Darabin, who got beaten also, by the way. Port Melbourne, 8-13-61, smashed Casey, 3 straight 18. 43 points, and that's all they needed to do, I'm afraid. Casey, just a side that struggled every week. When they had AFLW players, they were good, but that was the only time they were good. Lauren Jatziak played for Melbourne in the intra-club, so they missed their main ruck, but that doesn't excuse their performance this year as well, not just this week. Port Melbourne will be disappointed they didn't make finals. I know Thomas Polly isn't happy that they didn't make finals because they're good enough, and they could easily cause havoc in finals, but they slipped up against the Bulldogs a few weeks ago, and that effectively cost them finals. So, had a great win. Ava Seaton, Eloise Ashley Cooper played well. Mia Caffrey played well. Molly in the ruck played fantastic. Caitlin O'Keefe played a part as well, as did Kate Adams, who played a milestone game on the weekend, so one under Kate. And they had a retirement, Beth Wilson, I believe. So one under Beth on her career. She did a nice goal when I was there against the Bulldogs, so one under Beth on her long career in the VFLW competition. But they got the job done. Olivia Morris was fantastic with 15 tackles for Casey. But yeah, that's about it, really. Right, the next game to go through is Sandy 25, North Melbourne 42, 5-12 to 4-1. Nike to Jock kicked 5 behinds. And if she kicked those goals, they win by a lot more. So the scoreboard just flatters Sandy a little bit. I'm happy that they put in an effort. This time they didn't get beaten by 80 points or anything like that. But if those behinds turned to goals, it could have looked a lot worse. Grace Hodder was really good. Abby Drugalis was really good. But for North Melbourne, it was the usual suspects. Renee Teeny started really well. Charlotte Ryan was consistently good. Mandy DeCosmo was really good. Nike DeJock was really good. Renee Karras was also very good for Sandy from St Kilda's AFLW side in the ruck. But yeah, North did what they had to do, and they finished on top of the ladder. Final game of the round, Geelong 4-4-28, not 4-4, 3-10-28, beat Darebin 3-8-26. Wow. Geelong don't finish on the bottom of the ladder now. That belongs to Casey because of this 2-point victory over Darebin. Geelong started slow. Abby Vaffel, Hayley Peck had enormous games, some of the best individual games all season. Jemima Woods was really good and shown what a good recruit she's been. Mecca Morrissey's been really good in the midfield crew. Molly Walton was good in the back line. Faith had a really good game in the forward line, who's pushed forward lately, kicked a goal early. Darebin missed Ange Gokas due to personal reasons, so they had Alyssa Misford in the ruck, in the forward line and the midfield, which mainly midfield. She did really well. But yeah, Darebin cost themselves finals. They got no one to blame but themselves. Simple as that. There were a mathematical chance that they won this game, and they blew it. Simple as that. So they lost. So that's on them. Right. So obviously, Port Melbourne just missed out on finals by 2 points. Darebin missed out by 4. The Bulldogs missed out by 12. Carlton missed out by 16. Geelong missed out by 20. And Casey missed out by 24. The bottom 4 were Casey, Geelong, Carlton, and the Bulldogs. And I believe they were the 4 sides I had in the bottom 4. No, I had Bulldogs just outside the top 6 and Darebin there instead, but close enough. So it is what it is there. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, it's the time you've been waiting for. In just a moment, because we're going to preview the final series. So there's 3 games to go through. The elimination final, Saturday, 5 a.m. at Trevor Barker Beach Oval at Sandringham hosting Williamstown elimination final. The loser is out. I'll be tipping Williamstown this one, unfortunately, by 10 points in a close game. Both these sides had a close contest earlier in the year. I think Sandy, though, the injuries and the players getting recruited AFLW clubs is getting a toll on them, and it's starting to show the last 4 weeks. So I've got Williamstown winning by 10 points, which would mean Sandy is out. The other elimination final is Box Hill and Essendon. Box Hill City Oval, Saturday, 11:35 a.m. Victorian time. I'll be tipping Box Hill in this one by 10 points. Last time these two sides played, Essendon embarrassed Box Hill at Box Hill, and the encounter before that early in the year, Box Hill smashed Essendon at Windy Hill. So this is going to be one for the ages. It's going to be game of the round for me. I'm going Box Hill by 1 point. And the final game is a qualifying final. It's North Melbourne hosting Collingwood at Arden Street, Saturday, 2:35 p.m. Victorian time. I'll be tipping North Melbourne in this one by 15 points in a close game as well. Now, how the final setup works, for people wondering. So first v second, right, is the qualifying final, North and Collingwood. The winner will play the highest place elimination final winner. So Box Hill a third, Sandy a fourth, Williamstown a fifth, and Essendon a sixth. So hypothetically, if North Melbourne are to beat Collingwood and Box Hill win, it'll be North Melbourne. Sorry, it'll be North Melbourne, hosting Box Hill in the semi-final. The qualifying loser, so if Collingwood lose, hypothetically, it'll be Collingwood hosting the lowest placed elimination final winner, so fifth or sixth one, essentially, or fourth. They'd be facing Collingwood at Vic Park, most likely, or maybe the AIA Centre, because Vic Park doesn't look good condition-wise. And then, basically, the winner of the qualifying final winner clash, so hypothetically, if North Melbourne win, they would go through the grand final, and the loser of that game, depending on who it is out. And then the prelim will be the second semi-final loser, which is the qualifying final winner versus the highest placed elimination final winner. That loser will go to the prelim. That winner will go straight through to the grand final. And will play in the prelim. The second semi-final loser will play the first semi-final winner from the other contest. The loser of that other game is out. The first semi-final, if that makes sense. I'll explain it in simpler terms each and every week on the way to the grand final. It's a 4-week finals tournament. The grand final will be the bye round of the AFL and round 3, I think it is, of the AFLW season. August 30th or August 31st, the grand final will be at Port Melbourne at ETU Stadium for the prelims and the grand final. So look forward to that. Now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It is now time to reveal my Scoops 2025 VFLW All-Australian team. Let's go. It is now time to reveal my Scoops VFLW 2025 All-Australian team. Let me repeat that. It is now time to reveal my Scoops 2025 VFLW All-Australian team. Congratulations to all individuals who have made the side. From the back line, the pockets, Maddie Ford and Stella Reid. Full back, Nadia Von Betouch. The half-back line, the flankers, Molly Eastman and Sarah Sanetti. Centre half-back, Matilda Van Berkel. The wingers, Charlotte Brewer and Maddie DeCosmo. Centre woman, Talia Sanger. Half-forward line, the flankers, Stacia Stevenson and Renee Tierney. Centre half forward, Nike DeJock. The forward line, the pockets, Sophie Locke and Caitlin O'Keefe. Full forward, Courtney Jones. The ruck, the person who's appeared in more Team of the Weeks than anyone in history, Paige Price. The Rovers, Amy Trinidad and Abby McDonald. The interchange, Ange Gokus, Abby Vaffel, Ava Seaton, Imogen Evans, and Hayley Peck. Now, that is an All-Australian team that is just simply phenomenal. Now, here it is on the screen for you all to see. Here is my All-Australian team. Now, the players that just missed out, Isla Baldwin, Tia Davidge, Jess Matten, Gabby Collingwood, Charlotte Ryan, and Tess Cattle. Now, reasons for all these selections. I mean, all these players absolutely warranted a spot in my All-Australian team. I mean, look, we'll start with the back crew. Madison Ford, ever so reliable for Essendon. They do not make the final series if Madison Ford is not in their back line. She was easily the dominant force. And the few games I was at that were at Essendon games, she impacted in every single one. In particular, the game against Box Hill at Box Hill City Oval, she was a brick wall in the back line. She was simply phenomenal. Stella Reid, it's in her name. A stellar season from Stella Reid from North Melbourne. In that back line, they've got a strong team all the way around the ground. But a key part to their success through their back line is Stella Reid. Consistently getting a lot of the ball, a lot of intercept possessions, a lot of marks, even went up forward a few times and got a goal or two here and there. Stella Reid was stellar. Nadia von Patouch, now one of two key defenders in this side, or three, sorry. Look, she missed probably the last 4 weeks of the season, but for a key defender in a weak side, getting 20 disposals every week is just phenomenal. You could say, well, the ball's down there a lot, but her work is phenomenal. A lot of intercept possessions every week, marks, and they're not just chip marks. They were good, strong marks. There was contested marks. Nadia von Patouch done it all and deserved a spot. Molly Eastman, they have a reliable halfback at Collingwood. You know, you could always put in the work that Molly would do so well, and she absolutely warranted a spot. Averaged around 15 plus disposals this year, and it's not just the disposal number, it's the impact she had, and even trumped in for a goal against Port Melbourne, which I got on film. Sarah Sinetti, you know, if she wasn't in that Bulldogs backline, they would be losing by 50 points almost every week. Consistently gets a lot of the ball, around 20 disposals each week on average. Just was fantastic. You know, I can't sing the praises of Matilda Van Berkel any more than I've done all year. You know, from an All-Australian point of view, she's everything you want in a footballer in the back line. Intercept mark, one-on-one marker, a running player, an elite disposal getter, a leader, an inspiration to that Box Hill side. You know, if there's one player you don't want out of your team if you're Box Hill, it's Matilda Van Berkel. That back line is a good back line, a young back line. And with their captain, Ali McClendon, out, Matilda Van Berkel with Ali out has gotten even better than she was with Ali in the side. And she's blossomed from that leadership role, a star in that back line. Personally, seeing a lot of Box Hill games in person this year, she's clearly been the standard every week. Every time I've been there, Matilda Van Berkel has been fantastic. Whether she's pushing forward to chime in for a goal like she did on the weekend, you can put her anywhere, and she has everything you want in a footballer. And that is why she's the centre half back, Scoops VFLW All-Australian key defender lock. From day dot, she's a superstar and should be on an AFLW list. I don't know how many times I need to say it. Now, the wingers, Charlotte Brewer, Collingwood AFLW now. Sorry, Collingwood VFLW, now Carlton AFLW. Played one Carlton VFLW game on the weekend, and she was good. Really good, Charlotte Brewer. Had about 16 touches. But this is all Australian, and she got put on an AFLW list for a reason. Charlotte was one of the names of many that I have on the list of wanting to be recruited and should be recruited. And playing on that wing, I saw the Essendon game at AIA Centre. Charlotte has shown why she deserves a spot on Carlton's AFLW list, or anyone's for that matter. That dash she has on the wing was so good. Collingwood have missed her the last few weeks, and, you know, she's shown how damn good she is. You know, she may not get a lot of the ball, but she does something with it. Her running patterns, you know, she's not, you know, the strongest player, but she just runs through packs like that Essendon game. You go watch my highlights reel and watch that matchday vlog. You'll see her everywhere, running through Bombers players. She's just so damn good. Great to see her get an opportunity on an AFLW list. Maddie DeCosmo, you know, one of the best midfielders this year, averaging around 30 disposals. And I mean, if you're averaging that, you deserve a spot. It's the clearances, though. It's the tackles, and that's everything you want in a footballer. And Maddie DeCosmo has shown that in that long stacked midfield at North Melbourne. Talia Sanger, another one who's on my list of names that should be recruited. You know, she's just been simply phenomenal. For a young player in her first year in VFLW footy, has just taken the competition by storm. One of the best young players in the competition, Talia Sanger, averaging over 22 disposals this year. She's popping up a few goals here and there. She's everything you want in an AFLW footballer as well. Talia has been simply phenomenal and absolutely warranted. She may not have had the numbers of some other mids, but it's her impact and her, at her ability to do what she's doing at 19 is just simply phenomenal, and is a big gap between some of the other players as well. Stacia Stevenson, one I will sing the praises of forever as well, that I have on my list of names I want to see get drafted. And I thought she definitely should have been drafted last year. I couldn't believe it. I'm sure there was a lot of clubs that were interested, and I just could not believe she was not picked. I rated her very highly last year, not just because I interviewed her last year, but just the player, though. For someone who's 19 this year, who hasn't turned 19 yet, I don't think, averaging around 20 disposals this year, for someone who's played partially forward and partially mid, that separates her from a lot of players that don't have the ability to play mid-forward. Stacia has that ability. She averages probably, 6 to 8 tackles a game. When she plays midfield, she gets about 4 clearances a game at least. She's getting around 20 possessions most weeks. That's while playing forward. And she even has the ability to play off halfback. That's one that should be on AFLW clubs' radars. I'm sure they are now, but they absolutely should be highly prioritising someone like Stacia Stevenson and the other names I've just praised individually there. Renee Tierney used to be on Essendon's AFLW list, was let go at the end of last year, and probably is got a vengeance to be back on an AFLW list. And at the Rouge, she's blossoming there, being the captain as well, playing so damn well, playing forward, mid, getting around 20 disposals some weeks, kicking goals. And that's what clubs love, goal kickers. Goal kicking mids, forwards. And that's what Renee Tierney and Stacia Stevenson provide as well. So Renee has been terrific this year and deserves a spot. Nike to Jock, 37 goals this year, leading the Coleman by 19 goals, and didn't even kick a goal on the weekend. So it just shows how damn good she is. Had 5 scoring shots, so I got 5 behinds. But for a key forward, there's not many that have the X factor like Nike has, and she's only 21, 22 as well. Should have been on an AFLW list last year, and I'm hearing a whisper that she may be. And if that's the case, they would absolutely be warranted. It would be a huge loss on North AFLW side, but just shows how great Brett and the coaching crew at North Melbourne are going. But Nike's been absolutely phenomenal. It's not just the disposals or the goals. It's the X factor, the running, the tackling, chase down tackles and everything like that has Nike on AFLW radars. Sophie Locke, another former AFLW player in my All-Australian team. Soph has been a phenomenal pickup for Sandy. 3 goals in her first game for Sandy, I think it was, at Trevor Barker. She missed the first game through injury. Missed a few games through injury. When she came back, she's popping up for a few goals here. The Bulldogs game, that goal I got, just shows how damn good she was. And Soph should never have been cut from Hawthorn, was harshly let go, should still be at Hawthorn, and Hawthorn needs small forwards. And wow, Soph is a small forward. So that's their fault. Soph's a great player and should be on an AFLW list sometime soon, if not before the season even starts. Soph is a great player. Now, other forwards here. I have Courtney Jones, who, is not a tall forward, but she can play that role. And I feel like, besides Nike, the other forwards weren't key position. And Courtney's closest to that and plays taller than she is. A bit like Tim Membry at the AFL side for Collingwood. Isn't 195 centimetres or anything like that, but plays like a tall forward and can run as well. Has a good kick on her. And Courtney Jones, in the back half of the year in particular, was kicking goals with 3s and 4s and a lot of 2s and at the start of the year. So absolutely deserves a spot. Caitlin O'Keefe was up there in the Coleman medal race. She was 3rd. Did a lot of her good work early. Did not get many goals on the scoreboard in the back half of the year, a bit like the team, but, she's still getting on the scoreboard, involving herself in the play, and deserved a spot on the team of the year. The ruck, this was obvious for me. This was obvious since round 5, and my opinion has never changed. Paige Price, absolutely killing it this year. Maddie Torpy came in before she got recruited by Carlton's AFLW side and was the ruck in round 1. So her stats are a bit altered a little bit, because she wasn't the ruck in round 1. But her stats, I do want to read them out because for a ruck, it's so damn impressive. So damn impressive. So Paige Price's numbers are through the roof, and I want to read them out because I haven't seen anything like it from a ruckman in state league competition in women's footy ever. Been phenomenal. Averaging 13 disposals, averaging 32.4 hitouts, averaging 5 tackles, and in round 1, she was the backup ruck. So if you take that aside, she's probably averaging 35 hitouts and averaging 15 touches. So, you know, there was a game against Darebin where Paige had 15 disposals, a goal, and 61 hitouts. Another game against Essendon where she had 10 disposals and 41 hitouts, 12 disposals and 35 hitouts against Sandy. A great player, Paige Price, an absolutely warranted selection. 12 and 37 and 9 tackles in round 13 against Williamstown. And on the weekend, 11 disposals, 1 goal, 27 hitouts and 6 tackles. Paige Price absolutely warranted a spot and was a lock since round 4, basically. Amy Trinidad, superstar for Carlton, averaging over 24 disposals. I think she was averaging the 3rd best in the competition this year, something around that. Her impact for Carlton is fantastic. And if they didn't have Amy, oh my, they'd be in dire straits, and they already are. She's been absolutely phenomenal and should be on an AFLW list. Can't praise Amy enough. Abby McDonald for the Bombers. They really missed Abby McDonald through their midfield. When she was out with concussion for 3 weeks, the Bombers were shit. And when she came back, they embarrassed Box Hill at Box Hill. They embarrassed the Bulldogs on the weekend in that comeback. So all thanks to Abby McDonald. No Abby, no Essendon. Have Abby, they do well, and that's exactly how it's turned out. Phenomenal. Ange Gokus probably averaged the most disposals this year. On the bench, I just feel like the impact of Amy and Abby and Talia and Maddie DeCosmo and Charlotte Brewer and even Stacia Stevenson and Renee Tierney were better, but Ange Gokus had a terrific season. 38 years of age, I believe Ange Gokus is. Don't know if she's going to go around next year. I assume she will, but her impact has been absolutely phenomenal for Darebin, and if they didn't have her and Alyssa Misford, they'd be in dire straits. Abby Vaffel, her season was terrific from Geelong at the start, and in the back half, my God, on the weekend, 1-1, 33, 14 tackles, like 10 clearances, just like wow. Not 10 clearances, sorry, 10 intercept possessions, it's just like wow. Abby's on fire. Geelong got better in the back half of the year, and so did she. Mainly her, and she was phenomenal. Ava Seaton never gets high 30s or late 20s even, but her 20 disposal game range impact, and that's what stands out with some players and around that position, and that's what's with her, with Ava. She's been really good, so she deserves a spot in the team of the week, team of the year. Sorry, probably averaging only around 17 touches, but like consistently getting like 10 tackles a game, like 8 clearances a game, just shows how talented she is. Imogen Evans, feels so bad for Imi. She was really good for Sandy. A bit like Ava, wasn't getting plus 20 every week, but she was getting like 18 a game, 16 a game, with like 8 clearances. She was up in the top 5 in the coaches' votes before her ACL injury, unfortunately. Sandy really missed Imogen Evans in the midfield. A leader, former AFLW player, a ripper person, and one that deserved to be in the team. Done her ACL about 4 games ago, but a bit like Nadia Von Batouch, absolutely warranted to spot on the team. And this selection I was pondering the most. Do I play 2 rucks in the team of the year in my All-Australian team? My Scoops VFLW inaugural 2025 All-Australian team. And there was a last-minute change. Hayley Peck made the side because on the weekend, her 29 disposals and 39 hitouts, just like, wow. She's had that a few times now. I'm like, gee, I can't really ignore this because even her games around that were still consistent and bloody good. So I'm like, nah, I've got to put both of them in. So it means that Isla Baldwin, Gabby Collingwood, Charlotte Ryan, Tess Cattle, and Tia Davidge missed out for Hayley, but I just couldn't not put her in. She was simply phenomenal in the ruck as well. I mean, if Paige Price didn't have the numbers she had, she would have been on the field in the ruck. But Paige Price was so dominant that Hayley just had to go on the bench. It's just as simple as that. So that's my inaugural Scoops VFLW 2025 All-Australian team. Please let me know what you think down below, who you would have had and what you thought of that team. My final thoughts are simply this. If you know any VFLW players and you want to see them on the channel in a goal kicking challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Thank you all for watching one of the biggest years of my content ever. In particular, the biggest episode of the Scoops VFLW Game Changers, revealing my All-Australian team. But of all my VFLW content, and ones I want you to see the most, it is tomorrow night. The inaugural Scoops VFLW medal winner will be crowned. Who will it be? Find out tomorrow night. And trust me, expect the unexpected. Until that video, thank you all. And tomorrow night, the inaugural Scoops VFLW medal winner will be crowned. Till then, thank you.